Lisa Grant stood on the observation deck of New Haven's main building and watched the sunrise paint the sky orange and pink. The colony had grown so much in 15 years. What started as a few small buildings was now a city of over 2 million people. The wheat fields stretched as far as she could see, golden in the morning light. Another beautiful day, she said to herself. Lisa had been the colony leader since the beginning. She had seen every building go up, every family arrive, every baby born on this new world. New Haven was more than a colony to her. It was home. Jake Morrison walked up behind her, holding 2 cups of coffee. "You're up early again," he said, handing her a cup. Jake was the head of security for the colony. He used to be a soldier on Earth before coming here to help keep everyone safe. "I like to watch the sunrise," Lisa said. "It reminds me why we came here, to build something new, something better." Jake nodded and looked out at the city. "Dr. Foster wants to see you later. She found something interesting in the northern forests. Some kind of new plant that might help with medicine. Amy Foster was their best scientist. She studied all the plants and animals on their new world. Everything she found helped make life better for the colonists. The planet was full of surprises." "That's wonderful," Lisa said. "Every day we learn something new about our home." Far above them, Ben Carter sat in the pilot seat of the patrol ship Guardian. He was checking the space around their planet, like he did every morning. Ben and his small team of pilots made sure no asteroids or space junk would hit their world. It was quiet work, but important. "Everything looks normal today," Ben told his crew over the radio. "Just the usual traffic from the mining stations." That was when his instruments started beeping. Something big was coming toward their planet. "Very big. Control, this is Guardian," Ben said into his radio. "I'm seeing something strange on my screens. Multiple contacts approaching from the outer system." Jake's radio crackled to life in the observation deck. "Security Chief Morrison, we have incoming ships. Unknown origin. They're not responding to our signals." Lisa felt her stomach drop. "How many ships?" she asked. Jake spoke into his radio. "Guardian, how many contacts?" Ben's voice came back, tight with worry. "Control, I count over 300 ships. They're big, really big. And they're coming fast." Lisa and Jake ran to the command center. The big screens showed dots moving toward their planet. Lots of dots, more than Lisa had ever seen in one place. "Try to talk to them," Lisa ordered. "Maybe they're traders or explorers." The radio operator tried for 10 minutes. No answer. The ships just kept coming. Dr. Amy Foster burst into the command center. "What's happening? People are scared. They can see the ships in the sky now." Through the windows, they could see dark shapes moving across the stars. The alien ships were huge, like floating cities made of metal and strange lights. "All citizens, this is Administrator Grant," Lisa announced over the colony's speakers. "We have visitors approaching our planet. Please stay calm and stay indoors while we try to make contact." Ben's voice crackled over the radio again. "Control, they're not slowing down. I think they're getting ready to attack." "Attack?" Lisa said. "We haven't done anything wrong. We're just farmers and scientists." That was when the first alien ship fired. A bright beam of energy shot down from space and hit the northern part of the city. Buildings exploded. Fire spread everywhere. "They're shooting at us," Jake shouted. "All security teams, emergency positions." More beams came down from the alien. Ships. The hospital exploded. The school turned into fire and smoke. People were running and screaming in the streets. Lisa grabbed the emergency radio. "All ships in orbit. This is New Haven Colony. We are under attack. Repeat, we are under attack." Requesting immediate assistance. But their few patrol ships were too small. The alien weapons destroyed them in seconds. Ben's ship Guardian exploded in a ball of fire. He and his crew were gone. "We need to evacuate," Jake said. "Get people to the transport ships." Lisa nodded. "Start the evacuation alarm. Get everyone to the spaceport." The alarm echoed across the burning city. Families ran through the streets carrying their children. The elderly needed help walking. Everyone was trying to reach the spaceport, where the big transport ships waited. Dr. Foster was helping load people onto the ships when another energy beam hit the ground near her. The blast threw her against a wall. When she got up, her arm was bleeding, but she kept helping people. "Hurry," Jake shouted to the crowds. "Get on the ships. We don't have much time." Lisa stayed at the command center, coordinating the evacuation. Ship after ship took off, carrying people away from their burning home. But there weren't enough ships for everyone. "Administrator," the operator said, "we have 30,000 people on the evacuation ships, but there are still over 2 million. In the city." Lisa closed her eyes. 2 million people. Her people, her responsibility. "Keep loading," she ordered. "Every life we save matters." The alien ships moved closer to the planet. Their weapons fired faster now. Whole city blocks disappeared in flashes of light. The beautiful wheat fields burned. The forests where Dr. Foster found her discoveries turned to ash. Jake ran back to the command center. "Lisa, we have to go. The transport ships are full. This is our last chance." Lisa looked at the screens showing their city dying. What about the others? What about the people still down there? "We can't save them," Jake said sadly. "But we can save the people on the ships if we leave now." Lisa picked up the colony-wide radio one last time. "This is Administrator Grant. To everyone who can hear this, we tried our best. We came here in peace. We built something beautiful. Remember New Haven. Remember what we made together." Jake grabbed her arm. "Lisa, we have to go now." They ran to the last transport ship. As it took off, Lisa watched her city burn below them. The alien ships were landing now, their soldiers walking through the ruins. In space, the 30,000 survivors looked back at their dead world. Their home was gone. Their friends and families were gone. But they were alive, and they would make sure Earth knew what happened here. The alien commander stood in the ruins of New Haven's command center. To him, this was just another day of work. Another primitive species eliminated before they could become a threat. He had no idea what was coming. The transport ships carrying the New Haven survivors arrived at Earth 3 weeks later. Jake Morrison stood at the window of the lead ship and watched his home planet grow larger. Earth looked peaceful and blue, so different from the burning world they had left behind. "We're getting a message from Earth Control," the pilot announced. "They want to know what happened to New Haven." Jake picked up the radio. His voice was tired and sad. "Earth Control, this is Security Chief Morrison from New Haven Colony. We need to speak to the government immediately. Our colony has been destroyed." Within hours, Jake and the other survivors were in a room with President Karen Walsh and her advisors. The survivors showed them videos of the attack. They showed pictures of the alien ships. They showed the burning city and the people who died. President Walsh watched the videos without saying a word. Her face grew harder with each image. Defense Secretary Tony Rodriguez sat next to her, taking notes and asking questions. "How many survived?" President Walsh asked. 30,000 out of 2.3 million, Jake answered. "The aliens gave us no warning, no demands. They just started shooting." Dr. Amy Foster, her arm still in a bandage, leaned forward. "I studied their technology during the attack. Their ships are advanced, but not impossible to fight. We just need better weapons and more ships." "More ships?" Tony Rodriguez said. We only have about 50 patrol vessels in our entire fleet. Amy nodded. That's not enough. Not nearly enough. President Walsh stood up and walked to the window. She looked out at the peaceful city below. How long before they come here? She asked. We don't know, Jake said, but they will come. They called us insects, pests that needed to be removed. The president turned back to the room. Tony, I want you to call an emergency meeting of the World Council. Every nation needs to see these videos. That night, leaders from every country on Earth gathered in the United Nations building. They watched the videos from New Haven. They saw the children running. They saw the hospitals burning. They saw 2 million innocent people die for no reason. This is not just an attack on one colony, President Walsh told the assembly. This is an attack on all humanity. We must respond as one people. For the first time in history, every nation agreed. The vote was unanimous. Earth would unite to fight back. Fleet Admiral Steve Brooks was called out of retirement to lead the war effort. He was old but smart, and he had been planning for this day his whole career. He met with General Patricia Hayes and other military leaders to make plans. We need ships, Admiral Brooks said. Lots of ships. More than anyone has ever built before. How many? General Hayes asked. Hundreds of thousands, Brooks replied. Maybe more. Dr. Alex Turner was put in charge of building the new fleet. He was young but brilliant, and he had ideas for ships that had never been built before. His factories started working day and night. We're not building exploration ships, Dr. Turner told his workers. We're building weapons. Every ship needs to be able to fight. All over Earth, factories changed what they made. Car companies started building ship engines. Electronics companies made weapon systems. Mining companies dug up materials for armor. And hulls. People worked harder than they ever had before. They remembered the videos from New Haven. They remembered the children who died. Everyone wanted to help build the fleet that would make the aliens pay. Carol Murphy used to work for the CIA. Now she led intelligence operations against the aliens. Her spies found pieces of alien technology that had fallen from their ships during the attack. We're learning about them, Carol told Admiral Brooks. They call themselves the Hegemony Coalition. 3 different alien species working together. They think we're primitive and weak. Good, Brooks said. Let them think. That, it will make our attack more effective. Jake Morrison and the other New Haven survivors helped train Earth's new soldiers. They taught them about alien weapons and tactics. They shared everything they had learned during the attack. The aliens are strong, Jake told a group of recruits. But they're not invincible. They can be hurt. They can be killed. And they will pay for what they did. Dr. Amy Foster worked with scientists to develop new weapons. She used samples from New Haven to create targeting systems that would work better against alien technology. Every weapon we build needs to remember. New Haven, she said. We're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting for everyone who died. The first ships were ready 6 months after the attack. They were bigger and stronger than anything humans had built before. Each ship carried weapons designed to destroy alien vessels. Captain Ryan Torres was chosen to command the first new battleship. It was called the USS Vengeance, and it was built to make the aliens regret attacking humans. This ship exists for one purpose, Captain Torres told his crew. To make sure what happened to New Haven never happens again. More ships followed. Factories built them faster than anyone thought possible. Each ship was tested and armed and sent to join the growing. Fleet. Commander Nicole Davis led the new fighter pilots. These were small, fast ships that could attack in groups. Her pilots trained constantly, practicing the moves they would use against alien ships. We're not just pilots, she told her squadron. We're the sword of humanity. When we strike, the aliens will know they made a terrible mistake. Chief Engineer Paul Chun designed new engines that let the ships move faster and coordinate better. His quantum communication systems meant every ship could talk to every other ship instantly. The aliens think they're fighting primitive humans. He said, "They're about to learn they're wrong." President Walsh spoke to the world every week, updating everyone on the fleet's progress. The whole planet watched as more and more ships were completed. "We didn't want this war," she said in one broadcast. "We came in peace to New Haven. We built homes and farms and schools. But they destroyed our people for no reason. Now they will face the consequences." Admiral Brooks planned the attack carefully. He divided the fleet into groups, each with a specific target. The aliens had 12 major worlds. All 12 would be attacked at the same time. "We won't make the same mistake they made," he told his commanders. "We won't attack their civilians. But their military bases, their shipyards, their command centers, all of those will be destroyed." 18 months after New Haven's destruction, the fleet was ready. 600,000 ships filled the space around Earth. Each ship carried weapons designed to make aliens pay for attacking humans. The survivors from New Haven stood on the observation deck of the USS Vengeance and watched the fleet prepare to leave. Jake Morrison had tears in his eyes. "Lisa would be proud," Amy Foster said, thinking of their colony leader who died to save them. "She will be remembered," Jake replied. "They all will. And the aliens will never forget what happens when you hurt innocent people." The fleet began moving toward the jump points that would take them to alien space. 600,000 ships, all carrying the same message. Humanity would not be destroyed quietly. Admiral Brooks sent one final message to Earth before the jump. For New Haven, for the 2.27 million who died, for every human child who should grow up in safety. Today we show the galaxy that humanity will not be victims. The fleet jumped to hyperspace. The war had begun. The human fleet moved through hyperspace like a river of metal and fire. 600,000 ships traveling together created a sight that had never been seen before in the galaxy. Each ship was different, built for a specific job, but all of them shared the same purpose. Captain Ryan Torres stood on the bridge of the USS Vengeance and watched the readings on his screens. The massive dreadnought was the largest ship humans had ever built. Its weapons could destroy a city, and its armor could stop almost any attack. "How much longer until we reach the target?" he asked his navigator. 12 hours, sir," came the reply. "All ships are maintaining formation perfectly." The human fleet was split into 12 groups, each heading to a different alien world. Torres was leading the attack on Korthek Prime, the home planet of the aliens who had destroyed New Haven. He wanted to make sure they understood the price of killing innocent people. Commander Nicole Davis was flying with the fighter squadrons that would go in first. Her small ships were fast and deadly, designed to slip past alien defenses and hit important targets. She had trained for this moment for 18 months. "Reaper Squadron, this is your commander," she said over the radio. "Remember what we learned from the New Haven survivors. The aliens think they're fighting primitives. Let's show them how wrong they are." Her pilots responded with determination. Each of them had seen the videos from New Haven. Each of them knew what the aliens had done to innocent families. Admiral Julia Parker commanded the 3rd Fleet's assault ships. These were medium-sized vessels designed to work together in large groups. Their job was to overwhelm alien defenses with coordinated attacks. "The aliens have never faced anything like this," she told her captains during a final briefing. "They're used to fighting small groups of ships. We're bringing 600,000. Chief Engineer Paul Chun monitored the quantum communication network from his command ship. Every vessel in the fleet was connected to every other vessel. They could share information instantly and coordinate attacks perfectly. "The network is stable," he reported to Admiral Brooks. "All ships are connected. When we attack, we'll fight as one mind with 600,000 bodies." The aliens had no idea what was coming. On Korthik Prime, Commander Vex Korthik was meeting with other military leaders. They were discussing their next targets for expansion. Human worlds will be easy to conquer," he told the assembled officers. "We destroyed their largest colony without losing a single ship. They are clearly inferior." Other alien leaders agreed. The Viridians had studied human technology and declared it primitive. The Zephyrians, with their hive minds, couldn't understand how individual humans could work together effectively. "We should attack their home world next," suggested a Viridian. "Commander, end this species quickly before they become annoying. They had no satellites watching the edges of their space, no early warning systems, no scouts looking for threats. The aliens had been the strongest force in the galaxy for so long that they had forgotten to be careful. That was their first mistake. The human fleet dropped out of hyperspace simultaneously at 12 different star systems. The timing was perfect, coordinated by Paul Chun's quantum network. In one moment, the aliens went from feeling completely safe to facing the largest military force in galactic history. On Korthik Prime, the defense stations detected the human ships and immediately sounded alarms, but the numbers on their screens seemed impossible. "Sir," a technician reported to Commander Vex Korthik, "we're detecting human ships in our system." "How many?" Vex Korthik asked, not particularly concerned. 50,000, sir." "No, wait. 100,000. The numbers keep growing." Vex Korthik's expression changed. "That's impossible. Humans don't have that many ships." "Sir, final count shows 150,000 human vessels. They're all armed for combat." A Korthak commander felt fear for the first time in his military career. 150,000 ships was larger than his entire planetary defense fleet. Captain Torres watched the alien world grow larger on his screens. Korthik Prime was a harsh, rocky planet covered with military bases and weapon factories. It was the perfect target for humanity's anger. "Open a channel to the planet," he ordered. "Channel open, sir." Torres looked directly into the camera. "Korthik Prime, this is Captain Ryan Torres of the Earth Defense Force. You destroyed our colony. At New Haven, you killed 2.27 million innocent people. This is our response." He nodded to his weapons officer. "Begin the attack." The USS Vengeance fired its main guns. Beams of energy brighter than lightning shot down toward the planet. They hit military bases and weapon factories, destroying in seconds what had taken years to build. All around Torres, the human fleet opened fire. 150,000 ships attacking at once created a light show that could be seen from space. The planet's orbital defenses, which had never been tested in real combat, lasted less than an hour. Commander Nicole Davis led her fighters through the remains of the alien defense satellites. Her job was to hit the communication centers that coordinated the planet's military. "Reaper Squadron, follow me in," she called to her pilots. "Hit the command bunkers, then get out fast." Her fighters dove toward the planet like metal meteors. They dodged alien ground fire and destroyed their targets with precision strikes. The aliens had never seen ships move so fast or attack so accurately. On 11 other worlds, similar scenes played out. Human fleets appeared without warning and began systematic destruction of alien military assets. The aliens' scattered forces couldn't coordinate a response because humans were jamming their communications. Admiral Parker's assault ships worked together like a swarm of angry insects. When aliens tried to concentrate their defenses in one area, the humans would attack. from 3 other directions. When alien ships tried to retreat, human vessels would be waiting for them. They can't adapt fast enough, Parker reported to Admiral Brooks. Their command structure is too rigid. They can't handle this kind of coordinated attack. The aliens tried to send messages to their other worlds, warning them about the human attack. But Paul Chun's network was intercepting and blocking their communications. Each alien world was fighting alone, unaware that 11 others were under simultaneous attack. Sir, a Korthek officer reported to Commander Thex Korthek, our orbital shipyards have been destroyed. Our main communication array is gone, and the humans are broadcasting something on all frequencies. What are they broadcasting? Thex Korthek demanded. Video footage, sir. It shows the attack on their colony, the one we destroyed. Thex Korthek watched the human broadcast with growing horror. The videos showed families running from burning buildings, children crying for their parents, hospitals full of wounded people. All of it was his fault. Turn it off, he ordered. Sir, we can't. They're overriding all our systems. Every screen on the planet is showing this footage. The human strategy was working perfectly. They weren't just destroying alien military assets. They were making sure every alien citizen understood why they were being attacked. The footage from New Haven played on every screen, telling the story of 2.27 million innocent people who died for no reason. Captain Torres received a message from Admiral Brooks. All targets are being neutralized. Alien resistance is collapsing faster than projected. Maintain pressure, but prepare for surrender negotiations. Torres smiled grimly. The aliens were learning what happened when you attacked innocent people. They were learning that humans, when truly angry, could be more terrifying than any nightmare. By the end of the first day, 12 alien worlds had lost their military capabilities. Hundreds of their ships were destroyed. Their command structure was in chaos, and they were beginning to understand that they had made the worst mistake in galactic history. The humans had kept their promise. They had built a fleet that could make the aliens pay for New Haven. Now the galaxy would learn what humans are truly capable of when their families were threatened. The second day of the human attack began with a message from Earth. Admiral Brooks spoke to all 600,000 ships at once through Paul Chan's quantum network. All ships, this is Fleet Admiral Brooks. The first phase is complete. 12 alien military centers have been neutralized. Now we begin phase 2. Show them no mercy, but remember our rules. Military targets only. Civilians will be given time to evacuate. Captain Torres nodded as he heard the message. The humans were not like the aliens. They would not kill innocent people, even when they were angry. On Korthek Prime, Commander Thex Korthek sat in his underground bunker and tried to understand what was happening. His military advisors brought him reports that seemed impossible. Sir, the humans had destroyed 90% of our orbital defenses, one officer reported. Our shipyards are gone. Most of our communication systems are down. How many ships do they have? Thex Korthek asked. Our best estimate is 150,000 in this system alone, but we're receiving reports from other worlds. They're under attack too. Thex Korthek felt his stomach drop. Other worlds? How many? All of them, sir. Every major hegemony. World is under attack simultaneously. The alien commander finally understood the size of his mistake. He had attacked one human colony and assumed it would be easy to conquer the rest. Instead, he had awakened something terrible. Above the planet. Commander Nicole Davis was leading her fighters on precision strikes against alien ground installations. Her job was to destroy the factories that made weapons for the alien military. Reaper 3, this is Reaper Leader, she called to one of her pilots. I see civilians evacuating from that factory complex. Hold your fire until they're clear. Understood, leader. Waiting for civilian evacuation. The humans watched as alien families ran from the military factories. Even though these aliens had killed human children, the human pilots waited. They would not become monsters to fight monsters. When the civilians were safe, the fighters attacked. The weapons factories exploded in balls of fire, but no innocent aliens died. The human way of war was different from what the galaxy had seen before. Julia Parker was coordinating attacks across 3 different star systems. Her assault. Ships moved like a school of fish, striking fast and then disappearing before the aliens could respond. The aliens are trying to mass the remaining ships, she reported to Admiral Brooks. They're pulling vessels from civilian protection duties to fight us. Good, Brooks responded. That makes our job easier. Focus on their military vessels. Let their civilians see that we're only after their soldiers. On the Viridian home world, the alien scientists who had called humans primitive were watching. Their most advanced defenses fail. The humans were using technology the Viridians didn't understand. Their ships are communicating faster than light, one Viridian scientist reported. That should be impossible with their technology level. Perhaps we underestimated them, another scientist suggested. Underestimated? A first scientist said bitterly. We called them insects. Now they're destroying our civilization. The Viridian government tried to surrender, but the humans weren't accepting surrender from individual worlds. Admiral Brooks had made it clear, the entire hegemony coalition had, to surrender together, or the attacks would continue. Chief Engineer Paul Chun monitored the battle from his command ship. His quantum network was working perfectly, allowing human ships to coordinate attacks across 12 different star systems. Sir, one of his technicians reported, we're intercepting alien communications. They're trying to negotiate. What are they offering? Chun asked. Reparations for the New Haven attack, territory, trade agreements, anything we want. Chun thought about the videos he had seen from New Haven, the burning schools, the dead children, the families that would never be reunited. Tell them we want unconditional surrender, he said, nothing less. The battles continued for weeks. Human ships appeared wherever aliens tried to regroup. When alien fleets moved to protect one world, humans attacked 3 others. The coordination was perfect, the execution flawless. Captain Torres received updates from across the war zone. The humans were winning everywhere. Alien resistance was crumbling as their forces were destroyed piecemeal. Sir, his communications. Officer reported, we're receiving a priority message from the alien command structure. Put it on screen. Commander Vex Korthik appeared on the bridge of the USS Vengeance. The alien looked tired and defeated. Human commander, Vex Korthik said, I wish to discuss terms for ending this conflict. Torres stared at the alien who had ordered the destruction of New Haven. The terms are simple. Unconditional surrender of all hegemony forces. War crimes trials for those responsible for New Haven. Complete disarmament of your military. That's impossible, Vex Korthik protested. You're asking us to completely defenseless. You made 2.27 million humans defenseless, Torres replied coldly. Men, women, children, elderly people, babies, all of them defenseless against your weapons. Now you know how it feels. The alien commander's face showed despair. If we surrender completely, how do we know you won't exterminate us like we tried to exterminate you? Torres was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke with calm authority. Because we're better than you, we don't kill civilians. We don't destroy hospitals and schools. We came to New Haven in peace and will accept your surrender in peace. But the killing stops only when you surrender everything. Vex Korthik closed his eyes. I need time to consult with the other coalition leaders. You have 24 hours, Torres said. After that, We continue destroying your military assets until nothing is left. The communication ended. Torres turned to his bridge crew. Continue the bombardment of military targets, but prepare for surrender negotiations. Similar conversations were happening across alien space. Every hegemony world was facing the same choice: surrender completely or watch their military power be destroyed, piece by piece. Dr. Amy Foster, now serving as a military advisor, reviewed the intelligence reports coming from the battle zones. The aliens were broken. Their technology was inferior to human innovations. Their tactics couldn't handle coordinated swarm attacks. They never learned to fight as equals, she reported to Admiral Brooks. They were so used to being stronger than everyone else that they never developed real military doctrine. When faced with a superior force, they don't know what to do. Brooks nodded. That's what happens when you become bullies. You forget how to fight people who can fight back. The 24-hour deadline approached. Human fleets maintained their positions around alien worlds, weapons ready, but not firing. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see if the war would end or escalate. Commander. Dex Korthik stood before a council of alien leaders. Representatives from all 3 coalition species were present, their faces showing defeat and fear. The humans won't negotiate, he reported. Complete surrender or continued war. Those are our only options. A Viridian representative spoke up. How many ships do they have in total? Our best estimate is 600,000, Vex Korthik replied. All of them designed for war. All of them coordinated by technology we don't understand. The Zephyrian hive mind representative buzzed with electronic voices. Our collective consciousness calculates 0 probability of military victory. The humans have achieved tactical and technological superiority. The alien leaders looked at each other. Their choice was simple: surrender and live, or fight and die. Send the message, Vex Korthik said finally. Full surrender, no conditions. The message went out on all frequencies, broadcast to every human. Ship, the Hegemony Coalition, surrenders unconditionally. We submit to human authority and request mercy. Admiral Brooks received the message on his flagship. He thought about New Haven, about the families who died, about the children who would never grow up. All ships, this is Admiral Brooks, he announced. The enemy has surrendered. Cease fire immediately. Prepare for occupation duties. The war is over. Across 12 star systems, 600,000 human ships stopped shooting. The largest military campaign in galactic history had ended in complete victory. But for the survivors of New Haven, watching from their new homes on Earth, the victory felt hollow. Their families were still dead. Their world was still ash. Justice had been served, but it couldn't bring back what they had lost. The aliens had learned what happened when you attacked innocent humans. Now they would learn what it meant to live under human authority. 6 months after the alien surrender, Jake Morrison stood in a courtroom on Earth and watched Commander Vex Korthik take the witness stand. The alien who had ordered the destruction of New Haven looked smaller now, defeated and ashamed. Do you understand the charges against you? The human judge asked. I understand, Vex Korthik replied in broken English. Genocide, war crimes, murder of civilians. Jake felt no satisfaction watching the alien leader. The trial couldn't bring back Lisa Grant or the other 2.27 million people who died. But it could make sure the galaxy remembered what happened when innocent people were murdered. Dr. Amy Foster sat in the gallery, her notebook full of observations about alien behavior. She had been studying the defeated coalition species, trying to understand how they thought and what motivated them. They're not evil, she had told Jake the night before. They're just limited. They never learned to see other species as equals. To them, we were just animals to be removed. That doesn't excuse what they did, Jake had replied. No, Amy agreed. But understanding them helps us make sure it never happens again. President Karen Walsh watched the trial from her office in Washington. The proceedings were being broadcast across the galaxy, showing every species what happened to civilizations that committed genocide. How are the integration programs going? She asked Defense Secretary Tony Rodriguez. Better than expected, Tony replied. Most alien civilians are cooperating with the occupation forces. They seem relieved that we're not treating them the way they treated us. The human occupation of former hegemony worlds was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Instead of enslaving the defeated aliens, humans were teaching them about democracy, individual rights, and peaceful coexistence. Captain Ryan Torres, now promoted to admiral, was overseeing the occupation of Korthik Prime. His job was to help the aliens rebuild their society without the military aggression that had defined them for centuries. The young ones are adapting quickly, he reported to Admiral Brooks. They're learning human languages and studying our history. It's the older aliens who are struggling. That's normal, Brooks replied. Change is hard for anyone. But their children will grow up in a different world. Commander Nicole Davis had been assigned to train alien pilots in peaceful space operations. Many of the former hegemony military personnel were being retrained for civilian jobs like cargo transport and asteroid mining. They're good pilots, she told her human instructors. They just need to learn that space can be used for more than war. Chief Engineer Paul Chun was working with alien scientists to share human technology. The quantum communication systems that had made the human victory possible were being adapted for civilian use. We're not keeping our advantages secret, he explained to a group of Viridian engineers. We want to lift everyone up, not keep others down. The Viridian scientists were amazed by human generosity. They had expected slavery or extermination. After their defeat, instead, humans were offering partnership and education. Carol Murphy had become Earth's first galactic ambassador. Her job was to establish relationships with other alien species who had not been part of the hegemony coalition. Many of these civilizations were requesting to join the human sphere of influence. They're scared, she reported to President Walsh. For centuries, the hegemony was the strongest force in the galaxy. Now that humans have defeated them, everyone wants to be on our side. What are they offering? The president asked. Everything. Trade agreements, military alliances, technology sharing. Some species are even asking to become human protectorates. The galaxy was changing rapidly. Species that had lived in fear of hegemony aggression were now free to develop and explore. Human ships were patrolling trade routes, protecting peaceful merchants from pirates and raiders. Dr. Alex Turner was leading teams of engineers who were studying captured alien technology. The fusion of human innovation with alien science was creating breakthroughs that neither species could have achieved alone. We're decades ahead of where we would have been, he told President Walsh during a briefing. The alien materials science is incredible, and when we combine it with our quantum computing, the possibilities are endless. Any military applications? She asked. Of course, Turner replied, but also medical applications, environmental applications, space exploration applications. This technology could help us terraform planets in years instead of decades. Jake Morrison visited the New Haven Memorial every week. The monument on Earth honored the 2.27 million people who died in the alien attack. Their names were carved in black stone, and an eternal flame burned at the center. Amy Foster often joined him there. She had been promoted to head of the Xenobiology Institute, but she never forgot the people they had lost. Do you think it was worth it? She asked Jake one evening as they stood before the memorial. What do you mean? He replied. The war, the occupation, all the changes. Would Lisa and the others have wanted this? Jake thought about their colony leader, who had always believed in peaceful solutions. Lisa wanted humans to have a future among the stars. She wanted us to build something better. I think she would approve of what we're doing now. The trials of war criminals continued for months. Not just the military leaders who ordered attacks, but also the scientists who developed planet-killing weapons, and the politicians who classified entire species as inferior. Commander Thex Korthik was sentenced to life in prison, but he was allowed to write letters to young aliens, warning them about the dangers of prejudice and aggression. His writings became required reading in schools across former hegemony space. "I thought we were superior," he wrote in one letter. "I thought other species were beneath us." That thinking led to the deaths of millions of innocents and the destruction of our civilization. Never make my mistake. Admiral Brooks retired after the occupation was complete. He had spent his entire career preparing for war, and now that peace was established, he wanted to rest. "The fleet is in good hands," he told President Walsh at his retirement ceremony. "We built something unprecedented, but more importantly, we used it responsibly." The human fleet was being reduced from 600,000 ships to a more manageable number. Many vessels were being converted to civilian use. Exploration ships, cargo haulers, scientific research platforms. Captain Torres kept command of the USS Vengeance, but its mission had changed. Instead of destroying alien worlds, it now protected peaceful trade routes and assisted with disaster relief operations. "It feels good to use these weapons for protection instead of revenge," he told his crew during a mission briefing. "This is what we should have been doing all along." The galaxy's economy was booming under human leadership. Trade between species increased dramatically when the fear of hegemony raids disappeared. New colonies were being established at a rate never seen before. Young humans and aliens worked together on research projects, exploration missions, and cultural exchanges. The children who grew up after the war couldn't understand why their parents had once seen each other as enemies. Dr. Foster published a comprehensive study of the war and its aftermath. Her book, From New Haven to New Hope, became a bestseller across dozens of worlds. The tragedy at New Haven showed us the worst of what intelligent species could do to each other, she wrote. But the response showed us the best. When humans chose to build rather than destroy, to teach rather than dominate, they proved that strength can be used for good. President Walsh was re-elected in a landslide, with support from both human and alien voters in the new Galactic Confederation. Her campaign promise was simple: peace through strength, prosperity through cooperation. The New Haven survivors had scattered across human space, but they stayed in touch with each other. Many had started families, built new lives, found new purposes. The pain of their loss never went away, but they had found ways to honor their dead. Jake Morrison became head of the Galactic Peace Corps, an organization that mediated disputes between species and provided aid during natural disasters. He often told young recruits about New Haven and why they must always be prepared to protect the innocent. "We didn't start the war," he would say, "but we finished it. And we finished it the right way, by making the galaxy safer for everyone." 10 years after New Haven's destruction, a memorial service was held on the rebuilt planet. The world had been restored using advanced terraforming technology, and it was now home to humans and aliens working together. Amy Foster stood where Lisa Grant's office used to be and looked out at fields where both human crops and alien plants grew side by side. Children of multiple species played together in schools built where the old command center had stood. "They're gone," she said quietly, thinking of the people who died. "But what they wanted to build is still here. It's just bigger than they imagined." Galaxy had learned the most important lesson from humanity's response to the New Haven massacre. that the strongest civilizations are not those who can destroy, but those who choose to build. And when peaceful people are pushed too far, they can become the most formidable force the universe has ever seen. In the end, the aliens had been right about one thing. Humans were different from other species. But not in the way they thought. Humans were different because they could forgive without forgetting, could show mercy without showing weak,